G'day, my name is Dean. I'm a game developer located in Brisbane, Australia. This is my game project that I've been working on for about a year now. It's taken a tad of time because I've been building it in a custom engine written in C++ utilizing OpenGL, which I didn't know a whole lot about how to do that before this project. So it's been quite a learning experience, but this is where it's at the moment. So mostly what you see is my code along with a couple dependencies that I have, obviously OpenGL, glad for OpenGL wrappers. I'm using glfw to generate the window for me, and a couple of Sean Barrett's single file header only libraries for doing loading of images and true type fonts. Otherwise everything you see is my code. So this editor GUI that we're greeted with when we launch the game is using a custom immediate mode GUI system. Yeah, so this is what you see. This is like a default level with just a light in it, and if I hit play, we can move our main character around with WASD, and as we get away from the light and into the darkness, you can see this circle appear around us. So this is going to be a top-down stealth game where we are sneaking around a level trying to steal valuable items and money and escape undetected by the guards that may be patrolling the area. So this circle around us basically indicates that we're hidden in darkness, and if a guard is outside of that range, then they won't be able to spot us. So the game is using a tile-based system for the level geometry. So if I go over here, select the tile tool, drag a line like this to make a wall, and we can see that now our light that we've got in the scene is now generating a shadow. So, and we can see that this updates in real time as we move it around. We can see how that gets generated if I go and tick show lighting, and as long as we have the light moving, if it's still, then the light geometry gets cached and doesn't regenerate. But as it's regenerating, we move this around, we can see basically all these rays that will shoot out against the vertices of the level geometry, and based on where they hit, it'll generate a triangle fan, which we then use to render. So I've made a bit of a level here for us to walk around in. If we hit play, we can see our character moving around, colliding against the level geometry. And another thing I can do to make this a bit more of a playable level is put in some enemies. So I can place a guard here and hit play, and by default he'll just kind of stand there and not do anything. So this is kind of his post where he's stationed at the moment. But if I let him see us, then we see that he turns red and angry, and then he'll follow us around, and that he's able to navigate through the level using A-star pathfinding. So just to take a look at how that pathfinding works, I can show the debug graph here. So this is basically a graph that's generated by taking the level geometry and expanding it. So you can see that if I place an additional tile here, so the tile makes up the shape of a square, it then generates 4 graph nodes around it for the pathfinding, and then those will be connected to all of the other nodes that they have line of sight to. So that's how that works. And if I turn on the debug to show his path, then as he navigates the level, we can see the path that he's following. So what we can do to make this guard a little more interesting is add some, make like a little patrol path for him to get around this level. So if I add a few nodes here, and so this is actually the very last, most recent thing that I've worked on, so it's a little bit incomplete at the moment. We should in the future be able to drag these nodes around the level and edit it more visually, but at the moment we'll just have to get away with entering numbers into the GUI like this. So if I move these around, we can see a bit of a patrol path start to generate. So I've got it showing the actual generated path that he will take. And if I get this right, just put that there. Create another node, just move this down. So what we can also do is in this custom immediate mode GUI, we can actually type numbers into here. So if I want to decide that yeah, 15 on the X looks like a pretty good place, I want to move them a little bit down, so I'll put that there, and then hit enter to punch that in. And what I can also do is program him to wait for a certain amount of time at each of these patrol points. So what usually feels natural is like 1 or 2 seconds. So I'll just put a few numbers into here, and then I hit play, and we can see that he will start to navigate around the level, going around this this route that we've assigned him to. So you can see already how this can start to be a bit of a game with some interesting obstacles. If we put like a number of guards around and make like an interesting level for you to get around in, with areas that are darkness and areas that are light, so that you can hide from the enemies, then it will start to be a bit of a game. But at the moment, there's no game loop or anything like that. So if this guy manages to catch up with us, he's not able to hurt us or do anything. There's no objective or level end or anything like that. So that's stuff that I'll be adding in the near future. That's actually the very next things that I'll be working on. So yeah, that's about where my game is at the moment, and thanks for watching.